Hello and welcome to my video going over my top Factorio Overhaul mods. Now there are quite a few overhaul mods available for the game, things ranging from Industrial Revolution to Bob's mods to Angels to C-Block to Space Exploration to Crastorio to Mod Mash and Dark Matter stuff, all, Yuki Industries, so many, there's quite a lot. But I've put my top three together, and these are based on my opinion, but if you guys are looking for overhaul mods or just interested in generally what I think, then hopefully this will be helpful to you. So we're going to go over three of them, one of which you may be a little surprised about. I do want to say right off the bat, I do have personal experience and playtime in two of these. The third one I have not actually played before, so I do not have personal experience with it. However, I have watched my fair share of it and seen my fair share of stuff with it, and that's what I am basing my opinion off of, as well as just my general knowledge of Factorio and the game and how the mod changes and relates to that, to the game and all the aspects there. So the first one I'm going to start with is space exploration, and this is an absolutely huge but fantastic mod. I cannot give this enough praise. Now, I have done a playthrough of this on my Twitch channel with stream, and I did have some episodes on it on my YouTube here as well. So if you wanted to check that out, you can look that up. But I did get fairly close to finishing it at the time, and then I just wanted to kind of move on. Like I said, it's a very large, very extensive mod. But I didn't dislike it. It was getting a little bit too complicated for me personally, but I didn't really think that there's anything bad about it. And I think it's only improved since then. I did that like a year ago or so, and I think it's only improved since then. So space exploration, as the name would indicate, adds a lot to the end game. Now, my personal experience with it was that it didn't actually change a lot in the early to mid game. Kind of like late mid game is when things started to change a bit, and then late game is when things really took off. And this allows you to go to other planets, as well as obviously leave your main planet, Navis, and go to other planets, but then build a space platform where you do most of your in-game stuff with all the special buildings and science packs. And if you want, you can then even build a spaceship and travel between planets and travel to asteroids and moons and stuff. There's some pictures here of some buildings and what things might look like, some ships as well. Little Millennium Falcon replica here, and looks like something else, maybe another Star Wars related thing here. But yeah, so you can build these spaceships and travel between planets and moons and asteroids. There's you can fire resources anywhere in your solar system, catch resources in special chests. There's all kind of stuff you can do with this. There's just so many different things. In glaive mode, an energy beam can cut through enemies autonomously with interstellar range. This sounds almost like a Death Star-esque thing. There's just so much to look at here. This has improved a lot since I played it, and even back when I played it, it was great. Now, I'm going to cut to some actual footage of when I played, so you can see some footage of it here, and then we'll come back to this mod page and take a look at this further. But yeah, looking at this footage, it just kind of, may not perfectly match up with the pictures shown here that I looked at earlier, but it maybe gives you an idea. There's some different ores you can get, but there's a lot you can just do with the vanilla ores, or at least there was when I played. And the dev is fantastic. There's a Discord just for this. Arendelle is awesome. I've talked to them before, and they're very, very active. That on Discord, which is linked on the mod portal page. Tons of support for the mod. It's constantly evolving, and it's huge. It is updated for 1.1, the latest version of Factorio. And there's even a thing on the mod page here that says, space exploration is not for you if, it gives all these things if you want to use lots of mods at the same time. So basically, it can conflict with quite a few mods, and it's not for you if you don't care about game balance and don't want a mod to balance things, or it is for you if you want to explore new worlds and new civilizations, you want a refined, balanced, cohesive experience from a minimal mod list, you want some genuinely new and unique game mechanics and challenges. So yes, this the mod, like I said, I cannot give it enough praise. It is an absolutely fantastic overhaul mod, and I think it's really really great. The graphical work is fantastic. The balancing seemed decent. I don't think it was quite balanced like perfectly when I played, but I think it's been balanced a lot better since then. And just the general idea of being able to leave your planet and go to other planets and build a platform in space is kind of, I think, what we all, well, maybe not all of us, but what a lot of us had maybe thought or imagined or hoped for a Factorio, in-game extension, which may still happen in vanilla, who knows, to some degree. But that's what we're looking at for the mod here. So we're gonna come back here to our mod page and move on to the next one. All right, so the next one is Factorio 2. And Factorio 2, this one I have also played a bit more recently than space exploration, still probably about 6 or 8 months ago, but I have played it fairly, recently in comparison, and this is also a fantastic overhaul mod. In my experience, it was a bit of a less of an overhaul mod than space exploration was, actually. It adds some new things, a couple new resources. At least when I played, it only added like literally just like 2 or 3, maybe 4 new resources at most. Maybe not even 4. And there was, again, it was a lot towards the late game. So, the science pack recipes, they were actually, I think there's science cards in Factorio, were a bit different, but not like hugely overly different. And looking at the mod portal page here, we can see new animated sprites, 300 new and unique icons, 40 brand new buildings, 100 new technologies. So there are a lot of new text. We can kind of look at some of the pictures here. And this just, this has an end goal of making an intergalactic transceiver. And this is a very, very expensive building, requires a massive amount of power to charge. And there's all kind of things you need to do to work up to that. There's all kind of new weaponry and combat mechanics. These are our science cards I was speaking of earlier. New buildings and text, but it's not like a massive overhaul. Like I said, there's still, at least when I played, there was still a lot of stuff you just did with vanilla resources, and then the others kind of just added on to that. So it wasn't like just absolute total overhaul of all the recipes and stuff. It didn't really seem to do that, which I liked. I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it, and it wasn't like too complicated for me, or just like too overwhelming or anything like that. It was really quite fun. We're just kind of scrolling down here. I am going to switch to some footage of this. Now, disclaimer, the footage here, I tried to find some of my own, but I didn't have any still left of the later game that really showed anything good of my own play. So, disclaimer, this is not my base. This is footage of a base tour I did for someone else. You can find the actual base tour on my channel, but I don't claim to own this base or anything shown in it. I own the footage because it's a video I recorded. So this is actually like a recording of a video, but yeah, so this is not my base, but it does show some good Factorio stuff that I just couldn't find my own footage of. I think I just deleted it all, and there wasn't enough of it on my YouTube channel, on my channel for my own stuff. But yes, Factorio 2, it kind of gives an explanation here. It's a global mod that introduces new energy sources, buildings, ores, technology, turrets, coverings, fuels, ways of producing science, and major rebalance of many vanilla features. Yeah, so it does change some vanilla stuff, but it definitely leaves like vanilla things in the game. It maybe just changes them a little bit. And then this also has a very nice on the mod portal, which obviously you're seeing footage, but I'll read this to you. It is for you if, or it is not for you if. So they say it is not for you if you have mini modifications and don't want to remove one of those if they conflict. So kind of same thing as space exploration. You can't imagine Factorio without Bob's, Angels, Pythons, or other major overhaul suites. So, yeah, so this is kind of basically just saying that this is not as big of an overhaul as those other ones mentioned. Um, and, you know, basically you have a huge base and don't want to start a new game, so you basically do need to start a new game for this. It says it is for you if you love multiplayer, so Factorio is really well suited for multiplayer stuff. You can't do it single player. I did it single player. You want to complicate and diversify the vanilla game with new resources and buildings, but don't want to turn the game into hardcore hell. And I think that one right there is kind of what caught my attention when I was looking at this initially before I played it. Um, and yeah, so, and then you like the art style. So really, I think it's fantastic overhaul mod. Um, I would highly, highly recommend it. That and space exploration, they're quite a bit different. Space exploration, I would say, is definitely more. Uh, there's more to it, and it's a bit more complicated and more of an overhaul mod, especially in the later game. So if that's kind of what you're looking for, and there's the ability to be traveling between planets and space platforms and all that stuff, then that's going to be for you. Factorio 2 is kind of, you know, if you're just like, you kind of want still a vanilla experience, but you want some additional things added to it in like a different late game goal, and such like that, then Factorio 2 is probably, you know, going to be a good option for you. And then the last thing, and last one, so this is my third. I'm just doing three. There's a ton. I'm going to do just three. So the third one, switching back to the mod portal here, and this is going to surprise a lot of people. I had to think on this really hard, and it was a toss-up. And I am honestly still, it's almost a tie between this and another one I'm going to mention. Is Python. And you guys are probably, some of you are going to go through the roof because you hear me complain about this all the time. Like, I'm never going to play this. I can't believe, like, people are nuts who play this mod. And I stand by that I will never play this mod. And it's not because I think it's a bad mod. I think I'm not going to play it because it's just too overly complicated for what I personally would want to play. However, just objectively from an outside perspective, based on the footage I've seen of it, other people streaming it, just what I've read about it, stuff posted to Reddit on it, this I still think is a very good overhaul mod. If, and this is the big caveat, guys, I would only recommend Python if you are someone who just loves to build really, really complicated designs and logistical systems and have a very, very long extended game. Like, if that's your playstyle, and there are people who enjoy that, like that's just what they're into, then I would definitely recommend Python. And I may be pronouncing this wrong. I apologize if I am. It was actually a toss-up for this between this and C Block, believe it or not. And I went back and forth in my head, and I think they're actually both really good. Just objectively, like, as an idea in an overhaul mod, again, I won't ever play either of them personally. But again, that doesn't mean I think they're bad by any means. And the one thing, why I chose this over C Block is because I think that Python introduces a very, very interesting and complex logistical challenge. Not that C Block doesn't, but I think just due to the massive the massive amount of changes and things you have to make in different stages of production in Python's, the logistical challenge that this introduces, I think is really interesting, and I think can be appealing to certain people who find that, massive challenge, appealing. So this works in the essence that, in the essence here, that there's like multiple kind of modules of it. So there's like manufacturing, power production, high-tech industry, ores, petroleum handling, coal processing, high-tech graphics. Now, alien life, what I've heard is that alien life makes it even more complicated. Like, this just makes it absolutely absurdly through the roof complicated, more so than normal, is what I've heard. Alien Life, and then so you would like install all these, um, based on what you want to use, or maybe you need all of them, but you would just um, install each of these separately, and they kind of all go together. Um, and I mean, you can see it's quite popular. A lot of these are over 100,000, 50,000 downloads, and it is quite frequently updated. You can see a couple days, maybe a month ago, week ago. I don't have footage of this. I didn't really, since I gave an exception to the Factorio 2 footage that wasn't my base because it's something I did a video on, but I didn't really want to just like take someone else's gameplay that I hadn't like interacted with and just use that. So I don't have any footage of this. You're welcome. You can definitely look it up. I know Bold Viking, a bit of a shout out, Bold Viking on Twitch is playing Python, and it has a pretty crazy base. You can look at, just search for this on the Reddit, and there's like all kind of pictures and stuff. It's insane. Like there's been posts, if you watch my Reddit weekly, where people are like 600 hours in and like just getting high-tech science. It's ridiculous. Like some of the pictures I've seen, it's something that would personally not appeal to me, but from an outside viewpoint, just neutral, objectively, I think that first off, just the ability to have come up with a mod like this and make it actually work is really quite impressive, and I have to give props to Python, the dev of it, especially for keeping it all updated and stuff. I can't imagine how complicated it is, behind the scenes. And again, like this may appeal to some people. If you're someone who if you just really like a challenge, if you are just like, you've played vanilla and you're just like, all right, I've done this, and you're just of the mind, the personality and the, mindset and stuff, where you're just like, this is too simple. Then maybe this is for you. If you just want something that is like exponentially more complicated and complex than vanilla Factorio, then maybe this is something that would appeal to you. And there you go. Like I said, there are many other overhaul mods. So that's going to be my top 3. I know this was maybe a little long, but I want to kind of just go into each one a fair bit, show you some footage of the 2, that at least I could. And, let me know what you think. What are your top overhaul mods? What do you think of my list? And have you guys played any of these? Let me know down in the comments. I would be interested to hear. Again, there's a lot more than this, but Factorio 2 and Space Exploration are the 2 I've actually played with fairly extensively. And then Python, after thinking about it for a while, I was just like, this is pretty impressive. And I think it does introduce a very interesting logistical challenge to the game that definitely would appeal to some folks. So there you go, guys. There is my top 3 suggestions for overhaul mods if you're looking for them. I would like to do more of these type of videos, like my top, I think I did my top quality of life mods, or maybe just my top 5 mods before. I would like to do like top quality of life mods, and then like top logistical mods and stuff like that. I don't know. Leave suggestions and comments for that as well. Things you would like to see kind of my favorite mods of certain categories and such. And if you did enjoy it, a like is much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to keep up with all the content. And I believe that'll do it. Until next time, guys, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.